Building with Papa. All right, we have a lot of squirrels in our neighborhood, and I usually feed them out on the table, and my dog Roxy likes to go up there and eat the peanuts and chase the squirrels. So I decided to make a squirrel picnic table. It's simple. Right now I'm cutting these pieces, which are going to be the seats. It's a 1x3. I'm cutting them 9 inches long. And then I'm going to cut the top of the table. It's a 1x6. And that is also 9 inches long. I'm making 2 of these right now because our neighbor comes over and sits with my wife and talk. And she's going to stop by tomorrow, and I'm going to put it together for her. So again, the top is 9 inches long. The seats are 9 inches long. So it's real simple. I put a stop on my chop saw. This way I don't have to keep measuring everything. And they'll all be the same size. All right, now my stop is sitting a little low. It's easier to make stops and when you're doing repetitious cuts. So you don't have to measure everything, you just measure it once. Okay, well, now I'm going to cut the legs and the supports. So this here is the 12-inch piece. Those are going to support the seats. It's a 1x2, and I'm cutting them 12 inches long. Being I'm making 2 of these picnic tables, I need 4. Okay, now I need to cut the legs. And the legs are only going to be 6 inches long. So I have to readjust my stop again. And I'll be cutting 8 of these. So you have the top is 9 inches long. The seats are 9 inches long. The supports for the seats are 12 inches long. And the legs are 6 inches long. All right, now that I have it set, I'll go ahead and cut all the legs. All right, now that I've cut the legs, we need to have it be able to sit on top of something. So I'm going to cut a 22.5 degree angle on each one of the legs, reversing it so that it sits on the table and then supports the tabletop. Okay, well, now I've cut all the legs, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the 22.5 degree angle. It works out real good with this stop, just stays in the same spot, and then I'll be able to flip it around to be able to have the proper angle for these legs. All right, so now I switch it to the 22.5 degrees. And reset my stop. This way I cut it, I flip it around, I cut it again. Now it makes the proper angles, and I can get through all these legs really quickly. All right, now that I have the angle on all the legs, I'm going to go ahead and put an angle on the seat supports. You don't have to. You can leave it square. I already have the 22.5 set up, so I'm going to do that just for looks. All right. Well, today it's about to rain, so I just wanted to get everything cut, and then tomorrow I'll put them together. All right, it's quick and easy. No big deal. You can do this. Okay, today my wife's friend is over, and I'm going to go ahead and put this together. She brings her dog Daisy over to come and play with Roxy. They have a really good time. So what I do is I use the bottom of this piece of plywood to act as it's the floor, and I put the legs down so they're even with the bottom of the plywood and they're touching at the top. And then I put the seat support on, so it's about 3.5 inches past the legs on each side. All right, once I have that, that's where I know I'm going to do it. I had marked some pencil marks on the plywood, so I know that it's the same distance up from the bottom. And I just take my nail gun and throw in a couple nails and double check it. Then I flip it over and I put in a couple more nails on each one. Yep, it's real simple. So that one's done. Now do the next set of legs. I already put the pencil marks on the plywood from the first one, so I just line everything up. If you're going to make a bunch of these, then I suggest you make a jig so all of this, every one is exactly the same. And it's not hard to do. This is a lot of lumber that I've just had pieces of left over. I had the 1x6, I was going to do a different project. I wound up using something else. So I saw this and decided I wanted to make a place for the squirrels that they could go, and Roxy doesn't bother them. She likes to torment them. She likes to get up on the table, and then she sits there, and they all just chatter at her from the trees. All right, well, now this is the second set of legs. And making sure everything stays the same. Again, I didn't make a jig. I did this all with pencil lines on the plywood. And now that I have the legs all together with the seat supports, then we're going to go ahead and put the top on. I just turned them so that the supports are on the inside of the legs. And then I go ahead and take the top, get one nail in, and then I'll get it worked out. Again, if you're going to make a bunch, I suggest making a jig so that every time you do it, everything's in the exact same spot. Okay, now I get a nail in the top, and I just check to see that the overhang is the same on both sides or relatively close. The squirrels aren't going to mind. They just want the nuts. Okay. So once I have it in place where I think that it's going to look fine, then I go ahead and finish nailing the top down. Keeps everything in line. I add some more nails in for once I feel that it's in the correct place. Yes. All right, now I have the top on. It's all supported. And now I'll put the seats on. I just put them on, line them up with the top, bring them to the edge of the wood of the support that I have, and then I nail it off. So you need a 1x6, a 1x3, and a 1x2. And you can build this very simple. Again, the top is 9 inches long. It's a 1x6. The seats are 1x3 and they're 9 inches long. The legs and the seat supports are 1x2. The seat supports are 12 inches long and the legs are 6 inches long. All right, I think it came out pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and give it to my wife's friend, and I'm going to stain mine. This is mine. I put a 2x4 between the trees. I stained it dark brown, and I made the table a gray stain that I had. I think it came out pretty good. All right, Building with Papa. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Give me a thumbs up if you can. See you on the next one.